from Peach Software. The feature I'd like to go through today is product locations. Now there's three types of settings that you can have for your locations. You can have a very casual sort of setup, or you can even get to the point where your locations are maintained even through the invoicing process. So let's go through these three different types. So if you go to your task menu, there's your task menu and product locations. You can see here that I've got a product, I've got a couple of locations set up. I can transfer between the locations, but none of this is going to be maintained automatically for you. The only thing that is here that is validated is the fact that you've got one in stock in your primary area. The secondary areas are not controlled at all. It means that you will control those as and when you wish. You don't have to keep them maintained, but it may be useful if you've got a small business and you've got picking stock and you've got bulk stock. You may be able to tag an area saying that if we do have bulk stock, it's out there. Like I said, the system's not going to maintain that for you. You can see down here the word not synchronized. And if you go into settings, you've got no control over the bin location, what they're called, and you've got nothing down here highlighted. So this is a very casual setting. If we go to product control, we can see here that we've got a Z9, we've got one in stock, that's all we've got. However, I've put 12 in another location. So I can do that because it's a very casual setting. The 12 actually doesn't mean much at all. It just means that I'm telling my staff that if we've got it anymore, they may be in this location, so you can go and have a look at that for bulk stock. So there you are, there's the locations. It says here also that it's not synced, and we can close that location window. There's the normal primary location for the Z9 in New South Wales. Soon we are going to make a slight change to this, and that is if you simply type in a location, a lowest and a highest in here, I might put in my location start as AAA111 and they might finish at ZZZ999, and I want them all to have 6 characters, and that's basically setting the location control. So that controls what you can and can't call a location, and if you want to create a new one, it has to adhere to those rules. But we haven't turned to synchronise on yet, so we're still in that casual approach, but we will help you control what you call your locations. So I'm going to take you to the next stage of product locations now. This is where the total of all the locations needs to add up to your in-stock quantity for that branch. And you can do stock takes two ways. You can do stock takes through either the location screen or the stock take screen. In the stock take screen, anything you do as far as a stock take is going to affect the primary location only, just not the other locations. So the primary location is the location that comes up first of all when you open up a product. So in this case, primary is ABC456. When you invoice out of the system, it's going to come out of that location, and when you receipt goods into the system, it'll come into that location. If you want to see what's in the other locations, you can see here, and the system will keep this in sync for you. So basically, whatever's in stock up here is the total of all the locations for this product in this branch. I should highlight New South Wales there. So let's go into stock take control. So remember, our primary bin, which is 456, has got 2 in it. If we go into stock take and we look up the part number, and let's say we do a stock take, we're going to recount all the stock and all the stock in all the locations. We'll change that to 17. So I think that should take it to 5. And then we'll just go update. Oh, sorry, wrong action. Change that to 17 and then update. There we go. And now if we go back to the product control, you'll see there now I've got 5 in my primary location. The total is now 17. The other way I can do a stock take is through the locations window. So through locations, I can actually either move stock between locations or I can do a stock take in here. So if I've gone through my warehouse and I find that in ABC 456 I've got 6 instead of 2, I can just change that to 6. And then I can go, okay, it says, do you want to do a stock take adjustment because the total of the bin locations now is different to the in-stock quantity. I can go adjust, and that's it. Now my in-stock quantity is 18, my bin location 6 as per my count. Now if I want to move stock between locations, all I do is simply go into one of the locations, pick where I want to move it to and how many I want to move. So I'm going to move from my primary location to this location here. I'll move 2 of them and transfer. So there you go. Now you've got 4 and 6. So like I say, the important thing to remember about this is it's going to keep the total of these equal to the in-stock quantity for this warehouse, for this product. And if you do an invoice, it'll only take it out of the primary location. And if you receipt goods in, it'll only receipt it into the primary location. So that's the important thing about that. Now I'd like to show you the third stage. This is a new feature, and this means that in addition to keeping your bin location synchronized, you can now invoice out of multiple locations. So what I've got here is a packing slip that I produced. I know in my primary location I've only got about 4. In my secondary location I've got more than that. So I've ordered 10, and I'll update that, and I'll print preview. And I'll simply show you what happens here is you can see there that I've got 6 coming out of my primary, there's the 4 out of my primary location, and there's the 6 coming out of the next available location. It lists the locations in alphanumeric order, so that way your warehouse people will be picking again in order, even though that the primary location comes second. This is the alphanumerical order in which it needs to be picked through your warehouse. So there you have it. So what will happen now is when the invoice is done, it'll deplete both the primary and the second location as required, and it'll keep everything in sync. So that's a new feature, as I said, and I hope that helps. Still maintain that when you do your goods receipting, it will go into the primary location only at this point in time, and then you can transfer it into the secondary locations if you wish. So there you have it, new feature. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, please feel free to call Peach Support, and we'd be only too happy to help you. Thank you for watching.